Ooh, that's right. Episode number 12 from Rinkside. It's me, Potty, here with Chewie, Canadian himself. Chewie, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing good myself, Potty. I just got my weekly shipment of new cards, so I'm going to show this one off this week. We'll do Chewie's card of the week. So this week we got nice little Peter Mrazek artifacts card. It's pretty cool. It's the first printed out of the 45 set. I don't know if this is clear or not, but it's got some nice light blue tinge. One of my favorite goalies in the league. So I'm doing good. I haven't watched this week's House of Dragons though, so I'm gonna hopefully watch that tonight or tomorrow. How's your week been?
That's awesome. I'm on the same page as you with the House of the Dragon. I am gonna watch it right after we record this tonight. Uh, I've been enjoying that show. I'm not throwing anything away, but my favorite character so far was the crab feeder. I thought that was just so sick. But the view from Pawtai's penthouse. Thanks for sharing the view from Chewie's corner. But the view from Pawtai's penthouse is audacious right now. You see, the Warsaw Warlocks are at 500 this season, 2 wins, 2 losses, and we're just evolving, scratching the surface, and about to bring back the championship to Poland. So it's a good start to the week, so far. Why don't you talk about that little thing that happened most recently?
Yeah, the thing. So the thing that happened, we had our giveaway last week for the Twitch, well, the Twitch giveaway. So we did our trusty online wheel spin, and Devin Simzer was the winner of the giveaway. So he's got subbed for the next month, and then we'll give him 2 more subs for the rest of the season, so he can claim his Twitch bonus. And just a quick go over, it was everyone who joined the Discord and entered into the giveaway. I think it was a lot of fun. A lot of people enjoyed it. Who knows? We might have to push another one in this season because I think the fans love it, and I mean, who doesn't love free Twitch bonus, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like it really pays to subscribe to Rinkside with, a lot of earnings and winnings that are coming around the way. So, yeah, thanks for everyone that participated. That's really fun. And I must say that I'm really happy with the way that the Discord server has evolved. I think it's around 50 users right now. Good, healthy flow of clips going into the clips and submissions. Thank you so much. And a healthy chat and, the general and the goals chatter channels. So, appreciate everyone taking part in that and kind of building something from the ground up. Pretty exciting over here. Speaking of,
Yeah, and just to clarify that, so we do have a channel. If anyone hasn't noticed, we do have a channel where you can submit for plays of the week. So we do filter through those, and those will get uploaded. Hopefully we get to a point where we have so many clips that we could start doing voting on them. And you can also submit questions as well, or even guests you want to see, or things you want to see on the show. So definitely give us some feedback so we know what we could do to help engage you guys who are watching.
yes, absolutely. And, speaking of engagement, over the accumulation of a season, the engagement of a single player as part of a team, joint outcomes that result in really tremendous results. And there has been a change to one of the programs that recognizes these achievements, these milestone events. So, handing it over to Chewie with and setting this up. This is the Incentives Challenges channel on the Statistics sub channel.
Yeah, so quickly, for anyone, I guess, who'd seen the incentives channel before, you'd know there was a few different milestones that we had. Example, first player to get 4 assists, or first player to get a hat trick after Gordie Howe. So we had those incentives. We also had milestones for players to reach. So it was like the first player in a season to hit, I think it was like 42 goals or 50 assists, or 150 hits would get an incentive. The league commission group ended up making an adjustment to this, and I think it's really cool. So the way it's going to work now, I mean, you can see on screen, the breakdown from Ani Escola. So real quickly, we have a channel that's listed under records under the history tab in the Discord. And if you scroll up, you'll see single season individual records. You'll see a whole list of players and what records they set, what season they set. So essentially, if your player or a player breaks one of those records, you will get that incentive. So what the incentive is, it's an extra +3 to progress your player. You can see Potty's just pulled it up, that list. So most goals, most assists, most points, all these stats are tracked by our awesome stats team. So keep an eye out for this. There's some records that haven't been broken since season 2. There was a ton of records broken last season. So if you break any of these records, you do get that +3 incentive bonus to your player. And just some, I guess, quote unquote, like I don't know, the small print. If you tie the record, you don't break it, so you'll be listed as tying the record, but you don't get the bonus. If you break the record, that's the new set record. That's the number you have to beat next season, and you don't like you'd have to beat it again next season to get the bonus. So it's a really cool program. I think it'll engage a lot of the players at the end of the season to see all these, and now we can look at all these records that were set and have a little talk about what we think's going to happen this season, Potty.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got these records pulled up right here just for our viewers to see. And we're going to share, maybe we'll share a link to this. And it's breaking it down. You can see that in yellow are the records that were set with a multi-season tie, meaning over multiple seasons they've been tied but not broken. Putting those in yellow is kind of like those might be a bit of a challenge to kind of break through that. Whereas the ones that are in green were actually set in season 4. So if they've been recently broken, then there's a higher probability that they'll be broken again in season 5. And then in blue, we have ones that are both multi-season ties as well as also being set in season 4. So those are an interesting dynamic where there's recency, but it hasn't been broken through. So I guess we're just going to have to go ahead and see how those play out.
Yeah, I guess looking at this initially, we won't go through every one, but initially, is there any key ones you think will be broken this season? Just at a glance.
Yes, I think penalty infraction minutes will be broken, and it's going to be broken
Okay.
by Bob or Potty.
Is it going to be broke? Like, do you think fights is going to have a major impact in it, or do you think this season there's going to be a lot of penalties as the skilled players get more skilled and the defensive players get stronger, or will it just be the fights that boost those numbers?
Yeah, it's a good call out. So, Joaquim Alou, that was the one Krieg spoke about as being, I think, the only person he shouted out in one of our interviews. And he said that Joaquim Alou delivered like tremendous hits as a forward. So I feel like as a result of more aggressive play, dealing more hits, you're probably going to get an elbowing or a charging every now and then when you're going for, just a regular hit. So I would hope that it's out of production for Potty's sake, just delivering a massive amount of hits, being a little quicker on the skates, and being able to dish it out. But that's one. And then I don't know. I'll pass it to you, and then
Yeah.
I'll think about
Well,
one.
I'll go for one. So the one that I think that will be broken this season is well, it's kind of like a jumble, but defenseman goals as well as defenseman assists and points. I think and it's going to be broken by either like a season 1 like original 6 player or even a season 2. I think the players in this league have just gotten so good that defense now can help produce on offense. You're seeing it a lot from a lot of teams where a good defensive core can just like bring the offense to the forwards. So a lot of assists this season, I think. And I know last season Mikey Adams played some time on forward, so maybe goals actually may not be broken, but the defenseman assists haven't been broken since season 2. Defenseman points hasn't been broken since season 3. I think it's going to be a breakout year for a lot of defense. So keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess I can take a stab at one. I think rookie assists is it's some fruit that's high up there, but it's still kind of low hanging. Only 18. I think Pawtai put up. I don't remember. Was it 16?
I think
Was it?
12, yeah, between 12 and 15, I think.
Yeah, that sounds good. So I think, anybody has the potential. Maybe some bacon will be on board in the back of the skillet, popping records as well. But yeah, so those are my takes on these single season records.
Yeah, and I'll give one more actually. You have I think actually the two blue ones at the top, the goals and assists. I It's actually kind of crazy that assists have been tied for 3 seasons at 32. Um and I mean all three of these players, Beamer, Leathers and Cookesey, they're all still in the league and they're all getting better. And as players score more, we're seeing like San Diego put up a ton of goals. Big shout out to Matt, the guest on the show today. But I think both of those goals and assists and points, like the numbers are just going to start skyrocketing now as we see all these players, shoot up in overall.
Yeah.
But those are my takes for this
Oh,
season.
well, fantastic takes, and it only took us one take to take those down. So I'm pretty satisfied with that. And we'll leave it up to the viewers. Go on to our Discord, go on to our Twitter. Let us know. We want to hear from you. We want to have a discussion, and we want to incorporate your voices in the future of episodes. So get involved and get creative. So moving on, we have our plays of the week. And starting us off, submitted by Tyler Grims, we have Chris DeRury with a spectacular preseason
Jeez,
save. Let's see that one more time. Looked like a giant pineapple on the ice, kind of just
the
tipped
seated
over on its
shuffle.
side.
Oh my god.
All right, what a play. And next up, we've got Buck Wild with a wild goal. Check this out on the other replay cam. Coming in. Ooh, swoop de loop. I mean, that defies the laws of physics. That was quite the play. Let's see that bend reality in the spoon one more time. I'm going to throw this over to Chewie.
All right. These two clips here are actually submitted by our boy Trevor Lopez. So we got Florida versus the Florence Firebirds. We see Johnny Gamble here. He has his head down. That's not a good sign because Money Mills takes him out, and it looks like Gamble was injured. Man, this is the definition of keep your head up because you'll run into a brick wall on the ice if you don't. We'll take a look at Gamble right now. Word on the street is he is okay. It
Oh,
was only a 1 game injury, and the doctors have cleared him to play. On the same game, actually, right after, we got Florence still on the power play here. McChuckles pushing hard, the stick lift, pass to Trev Lopez, and then shoots it top corner on Bacigalupi. We'll watch this one more time. This was right after Gamble got injured, so this is a little bit of salt on the wound for the Firebirds here. Boom.
wow. Short-handed and outdone. And coming in, powered by Rinkside, we have Joey Duncan with look at that, like hauling it around like a surfboard. What an impressive save! Let's see him use that stick again. And next up, it's in overtime. 3 minutes on the clock. Ferguson's coming down, and boom! Whoa, where did that go? Was that in between the legs? It was a phenomenal. This was ketchup on mustard, and ketchup prevailed. And sending it over to Chewie.
All right, our boy Fletcher Reed from the Boston War Unicorns submitted these ones and his first goal as a pro Boston War Unicorn. Right here, you see him do the turnaround, snipes it on the top corner on Chris Drury, and it was a nice little face-off tie-up. Reed takes it over to JT Chad. Chad sends it back over to Reed, and then he snipes it. Later in the game, we got OT 3-on-3. Love to see it. Boston War Unicorns versus the Tropics, and we got Michael Crawford just shoots it right through Jury. He has the strength behind his season 4 cup ring right there. He shot that so hard it put a hole right through his jersey.
What do you think that's going to cost him at the laundromat? I think that's an impressive goal. And so, wrapping it up, we have this beauty of a backhanded assist. This was Greg Cookesey's 100th career point, and also the winning goal in a great game. The goal, of course, going to Jackson.
Congratulations on the milestone, Cookesey.
Congratulations. And that wraps up our plays of the week. So, Chewie, that was fun. What'd you think? What'd you learn? What are you looking forward to in episode 13?
Episode 13. I'm excited. Hopefully we're having one of the big names on the show. The plays of the week from this episode were so hot my Chewy robe had to come off. If those plays were any hotter, you'd see some Chewy nipples one more time. But another great episode, and let's bring it over to a new friend of the pod, Matt Green. All right, he was drafted 8th overall in season 3 by the Albuquerque Pharaohs. Ended up taking over an expansion team in season 4, the San Diego Reapers, and now in his second season owning his team. We got Matt Green on the podcast. Matt, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing fine myself. Got a beer in hand, got goals on one side, doing the podcast, living the dream. So why don't for anyone who doesn't know you, and I'm sure that's not a lot of people listening to this podcast, but talk about your time and goals, kind of where you started, your path, and where you are now.
Okay. When I first started, I joined in like midway through season 2, and then I was sitting there playing in the minors for a little bit, and then uh, the draft came around, and then that's when I really started getting active. Because I will say at the start I wasn't very active in the minors, but then I figured out my boy Quando was in the league too, and then we really wanted to be drafted together, so we got really hyperactive in general chat together, so we could get drafted together, and which we did by Albuquerque, which made us both very happy. But I bet it didn't make Cam very happy as Quando ghosted, and I went to an expansion team after that. And then, well, my player right away, like, I didn't really see myself as a star when I first came. I wanted to be, like, a depth player. And then, like, now is when I want to start being the star for my team.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I know Quando won Rookie of the Year, so I mean that helped Cam out the first season. Well, both of you guys did, and now I mean it's good to see the growth. It obviously sucks to lose some players, but to have you grow into the league and become an expansion owner, that's good for the league in the end of it.
And, talking about your experience as an expansion owner, can you share with our viewers today and in the future, what was it like in your first season and first full off season as an expansion team owner?
Well, I'll say right away, we started off like really good our first part of the season, our first season. I like how we started, but then I'm like we all know the Reapers had that record-breaking losing streak that we didn't like that happened mid-season. But then I really like the growth that we had at the end of season 1, where we went like 6-3-1, I believe. And like we didn't even go up against like the bottom teams that were with us. We were going up against top tier teams and stealing games. So that made me really excited. And then our first off season, it didn't go quite as planned, but we got really one player that we were really happy with, which was Bailey Harper, and she has made our offense way better. We've actually like on average right now, I think we're putting up like 3 goals a game.
Wow, awesome. Yeah, that's I mean, you guys are starting off hot again this season, so hopefully it stays that way for your guys' sake. But talking about the trade, I mean, there was a couple notable trades from San Diego. The first one being, I believe, before the trade deadline last year, where you guys received Corey Pauly, Eric Leclerc, and you sent to Rome Bane Cadis, Jay Hill, and a few picks. And then this offseason, like you mentioned, you picked up Bailey Harper. Looks like you guys. Well, I just had it here. Bailey Harper and first, um, and then Honolulu received Eric Leclerc and Colby Wiersma, and then a conditional first. So you guys flipped Eric Leclerc, picked up a decent first in Harper. So why don't you walk us through the trades? Do you feel like in the end it bettered your team, and just talk about why you guys made those trades?
Okay, so yeah, the right away, like you said with Corey Polly, he bettered our defense instantly. He like with Roscoe in that first line with them, those two like bullying people with their hits and stuff has helped our defense a lot, as it's like helped Jan Lastic not have to make those crazy saves as much anymore either. So getting Corey Polly made our defense way better, and then I really think that's a key factor of how we went 6-3-1 to end the season because it happened right before that trade deadline is when we started turning things around. And then for Bailey Harper, you said right, you want to know more about getting her. She's
Yeah,
turned
talk
our
about that trade.
yeah yeah she's turned our offense around a lot as well as like I call her I mean, she calls herself the assist queen from how she's been playing, and I agree with that 100%. She's assisted on like all of Gus's and Noah's goals, and it's crazy every time I see it because she puts out really good passes.
Yeah,
What
for sure.
was your first week this season to plan? Do you expect to keep this up? And what are you going to do to push for the playoffs?
Our first week did go to plan, it actually did. Yeah, and starting that 3-1 off was really well. We didn't want to lose to Melbourne the way we did, but they're a super gritty team, and like I think they're going to go places in the future too because they were putting up a fight against us. They were like, they're like our kryptonite because we had the same issues with them last season. And then beating Florence with all the hype they had was really exciting for us. And for pushing to the playoffs, we just have to keep up the pace of play we've been doing with our offense and then making sure we get back there to help our defense, who's still young and growing, where they want to become in the future more strong and more defensive, like getting that awareness up. And then, you said the last part was, oh, do I expect to keep it up? Yeah, we can keep this up. I believe we can.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the team of the week, I mean, you see a ton of San Diego players: Cerrone, Harper, Bake, Labonte, and obviously, I think this is your first coach team of the week. Is that correct, or did you make a coach team of the week last season?
That's my second one. I've gone
Second
back to
one.
back now because I won the last week of the season too.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, we're obviously seeing a big turnaround from you as an expansion team. Some of the other expansion teams looking to make a step this season, so that's great to see. And
Yeah.
something we didn't talk about, but I guess, is there anything else that you do for the league? Is there any staff roles or anything that you do?
Oh yeah, I am a background streamer, and going into that, I said background. I'm a backup streamer. My fault. But yeah, going into that, basically, you guys don't ask much of me, but I'm always there in case an emergency happens to help you guys out. And then I do my best to help with progressions while I can. I couldn't this weekend because I had a test and stuff for college to look into, so I had to prepare for that. So I'm sorry about that. But and then I've been helping with stats too. So
Cool. So I guess for anyone who doesn't, I guess, know what a backup streamer, like what's your kind of role? What do you do, and what does it take to be a backup streamer? Like what if someone was kind of curious in stepping up to this role, like what would you tell them is kind of the role for that?
Okay. Yeah, I can say like you don't have to speak on the mic if you don't want to for games, because I know I do that as a backup streamer, so I don't want people thinking they have to do that. Like literally, the main thing is you have to be there ready and prepared in case something happens in an emergency where someone else can't stream. Or if you just want to like stream one day, you just let whoever's streaming know, and then they'll normally let you do it. But it's like you also have to actually have the game, obviously, and then current gen for it on Xbox.
Yeah. And then you alluded to it really quick, but what other roles, I guess, having access to the goals account and being able to log in, what are some of the other responsibilities that streamers have?
Oh yeah, you have to do progressions too for the weekend, like progressing the minor players, and then doing customizations that people want and stuff like that. And then you also have to be trustworthy. That's a really big thing. You have to be able to be trustworthy in the league, and then you have to be able to be active too. You can't just like sit there and be someone that's just barely came into the league and then try to actually become a streamer. Like people have to know you so they can trust you before you can get into that, because you could
Yeah.
mess up the league easily with that file.
Yeah, obviously having access to the league's file is a trustworthy job, but yeah, you were great last season. You covered a lot of help, or you covered with a lot of help last season.
Who's in charge of like letting people bet on games?
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, I can't really do that because I'm not a mod on the stream itself, but it has. I think Chewie has it. I know
Yeah,
Krieg
so
does it a lot,
any
and
Twitch
then
any Twitch mod would have access
yeah.
to that. I think there's about six six people that do that.
But going
I
off of that, when he just said that, there was something else too. It's like when you're on the Twitch account itself, I just thought of this. You're not supposed to type on there either. Krieg just types using that. You use your own Twitch account for typing in chat. I forgot about mentioning that part.
Oh yeah, yeah, that makes total sense. But I know that there's like people that do stats. There's people that do, streaming. I think that there should be people that like run the gambling, and every game they're like putting out lines, keeping the money flowing through the economy. And I'll volunteer to lead that department. Should the league leadership be watching and are thinking about it.
That's yeah, that'd be cool. Something to bring up for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great idea. I like that.
All right. Well, Matt, so in closing, I've got for you a simple question. Where do you see the league in 5 years from now? And do you have any shout outs you'd like to make?
In 5 years from now, this league's still going to be up and running smoothly and greatly, in my opinion. Krieg is one of the best commissioners I've seen, and then all the background work that we have around here is really helpful. And then there's one thing that I think we'll really figure out how to do right, because I know there's other teams that struggle, not just mine, but with playing time for everyone. Because last season, I could not figure out for the life of me how to get Earl Flint those at least 12 minutes of ice time. And now this season, we've slowly figured it out with the endurance and all that. So I think that's going to help out with a lot too with people's playing time, because people get uninterested quick if they're not playing a lot of minutes. And then for shouting out, I'm going to have to say Doug Brand here. He has done amazing stuff behind the scenes for goals that not everyone gets to see. Like this weekend, he pushed out all the progressions for us to keep us up to date when everyone else was busy. And that's something I love to see as someone who can see the backup channels and seeing who's doing a lot of work for the league.
Yeah, 100%. That's awesome. All right, Matt. Well, it was a pleasure having you on, and best of luck to the Reapers this season. Unfortunately, you guys weren't able to pull it through with Turku tonight, but I mean, you guys are still holding on right now. So keep it up, and good luck this season.
Thank you. Good luck to you too. We still got a lead for now, thankfully, on the division. We got to keep it up.
There
We
you
face
go.
Alaska tomorrow, so we gotta win that one. And then good luck to Dublin too, because y'all are rocking it. Always
Thanks a
have
lot.
been.
Thanks, Matt.
All right. Have a good one.
Sir. You too.
Wow, what a great conversation with Mr. Green. That was obscene. Really enjoyed that. So, Chewie, why don't you send us out before our outro?
Yeah. Thanks for everyone for watching. And thanks for all the support moving forward. And we'll see you guys next week.